afternoon, this is Giles Clark and I am here to do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I was challenged by my brother, I accept, and I have donated. And for those of you in California who are worried about the drought and the use of water, you'll be happy to know that I've flown all the way across the country to Pennsylvania, burning hundreds of gallons of fossil fuels in the process. But I wanted to be here today at Valley Forge, turning point of the American Revolution and birthplace of the first ever ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Join me now, if you will, as we step back through history to revisit the first ever historical ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. December 1777. After the indecisive Battle of White Marsh, the Continental Army, led by General George Washington, arrived at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, to begin their winter encampment. With British forces camped in Philadelphia, a mere 18 miles away, the terrain of Valley Forge provided a strong defensible position, but was soon found lacking for resources and provisions. Washington, joined in command by Brigadier General James Varnum, Major General Baron Friedrich Wilhelm von Steuben, and Major General William Alexander Lord Stirling, realized the outlook was bleak. With wet winter weather setting in, roads turned to mud, and supply caravans quickly became mired. By January, cold and hungry, morale amongst the men in camp was low and skirmishes were common. With conditions as they were, it came as no surprise one damp February morning when Private Charles Williamson belligerently accosted Major General Alexander Lord Stirling. Rather than see the man flogged for belligerence, further deteriorating morale in the process, Alexander Lord Stirling challenged the man to douse himself in the frigid waters of a roadside puddle. Williamson, being no fool, readily accepted Alexander Lord Stirling's challenge and drenched himself in the icy waters to comic effect. The troops found Williamson's reaction to Alexander Lord Stirling's challenge so humorous that morale immediately improved. Word quickly spread throughout the camp of Alexander Lord Stirling's Ice Water Challenge, or quickly shortened to the ALS Ice Water Challenge, as Continental soldiers contested one another in that undertaking. The troops were so taken with the idea that General Washington's aide-de-camp felt comfortable enough to challenge Washington himself to the dunking. After a night contemplating the challenge, Washington, himself no coward to icy waters, accepted on a frigid February afternoon. Word of the challenge spread out of Valley Forge as the 13 colonies were quickly captivated by the activity. Historical records indicate that townships from Maine to South Carolina were dunking, drowning, and dipping themselves at a frenzied and sometimes forcible pace. Before long, the fledgling nation found itself running low on both buckets and ice. Benjamin Franklin was dispatched to France to parley with King Louis XVI for bestowments of both ice and buckets, and possibly guns and armaments if there was any room left. Back in Valley Forge, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, as it was now known, had reached a critical juncture. So deluged were the surrounding lands from the constant challenging that British forces were actually flooded out of Philadelphia in June of 1778. The emboldened Continental Army followed after and routed British forces at the Battle of Monmouth. That is why Valley Forge is often seen as the turning point of the American Revolution, due to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. America's fascination with the fad soon ran its course. Like the Macarena, snap bracelets, or women's suffrage, interest ended as quickly as it began, and the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge fell into the footnotes of history until its brief revival in the early 21st century. But we should never forget the massive impact it had on the war for American independence and the founding of this great nation. And so, without further ado, thank you very much. Happy 4th of July. A little late. Giles Clark from Valley Forge. Have a good day. A portion of this video was made possible by a grant from the Gettleman Foundation and by donations from viewers like you.